Good morning. Hello. Hello, live viewers. Hello, replay viewers. Good to see. Oh my God, Christine, you're first. You are first. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. It's great to have you here. All right. All right. Sorry. My nose is a little stuffy. My nose is a little stuffy. How is everyone doing? Let's just wait for a moment till people start coming in. We'll hang out. Good to have you here. All right. All right. Let's get right into our, sorry, let's get right into our breathing today, shall we? I know Christine's here live, but if you are watching the replay, we're going to start doing, oh, look, green nails. Green nails. All right. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Great to have you here. Welcome to Maximize Your Mornings. Hello. Hello, Prachi. Is that right? Prachi? Am I saying it right? Prachi? Good morning, Kyrie. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Eric. Good to see you. I will get to know everybody's names. Prachi, yay. All right, let's do our breathing first before we get started. So here we go. All we're doing is sitting and breathing. So you come here. Lovely to see you, Kyrie. Good morning, Tiffany. Good to see you. We always start by breathing, right? We always start by breathing. So let's do that. So here we go, everyone. This isn't a meditation. This is just breathing. Even if you're driving in a car right now, you can focus on your breathing. Just focus on your breathing. Nothing else. All right, here we go. I will close my eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Open your eyes whenever you're ready. Okie dokie. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. All right. All right. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, October 30th. You know what tomorrow is, right? Tomorrow is Halloween. It's Halloween tomorrow, so we'll do a little spooky thing tomorrow, I think. I don't know. Oops. There we go. Okay. We will do a spooky thing tomorrow. Okay. All right, everybody. You can say hello. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, my name is Max Ryan, and today on this show, every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 5 days a week. We do Maximize Your Mornings. My name is Max Ryan. And hello, Jenna and Sherm. Good to see you. Good to see you, Pumpkin. I love it. Sorry. Who knows? So what we talk about here comes back to always is abiding non-dual awareness. Abiding non-dual awareness is what we come back to over and over. I have been doing this work for many, many years. Last night on my class, I'm sorry. God. Sorry. I was telling kind of my one section of my awakening story, and how this character has really seen and been able to focus on this abiding non-dual awareness that we talk about here, right? So that was an interesting thing to share that story with all of them. And I will share that with you at some point. That's all good. And so, yeah, so today we're going to, we got some quotes, we got some things to read. Yesterday, I hope that you enjoyed that quote from Albert Camus. Oh, actually, yesterday, I was going to say, everybody, that after our talk yesterday, I had some time, so I wrote some things about Camus and some things about Nietzsche and some things about Samuel Beckett. And I'll be putting that in my Substack. If you're not on my Substack, make sure you're on my Substack, because every week, I share an article with you. And that article somehow might help you, might give you a pointer. This is all pointers towards abiding non-dual awareness, all just pointers, right? So after we had that conversation yesterday about Camus and Nietzsche and Beckett, I wrote some articles yesterday, and I think that they're going to be pretty good. I'm going to do a series of them the next few weeks. So are you dressing up? If so, what? No, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have a I was going to say a dog in that race. I don't have a party to go to, but that's okay. It doesn't, probably wouldn't want to go to a party anyway. But today, Christine, wait, is anybody? Oh, here, this will be a good question. I'll just do it. Instead of using our book today, I'll ask you this question. What was your favorite costume you ever dressed up as? What was your favorite costume? Or what is a costume you would like to get dressed up as? That's your question for today. Please put in the chat what your favorite costume you've ever done, or that you would like to dress up as. So, and in the chat, tell me if you've done it already, or if you want to do it. You know, it's funny because I think I told you I dyed my hair really dark, kind of by accident. But before this, the color before this was like this really cool red, but it all kind of faded out and just went to brown. But when I had that, I was like, oh, I could play Peter Pan. I could be Peter Pan, and Peter Pan kind of like fits me. So, Morticia Adams, Kyrie, I love it. Parache's Barbie, I love that. That's fun. So I was thinking about Peter Pan, but my favorite costume, well, I've got a couple. I did Marilyn Monroe once, and it was amazing. That was great. Marilyn Monroe, classic Marilyn Monroe. A big surprise, me and the friends did Wizard of Oz characters and had a blast. I love it. Little Red Riding Hood for you. Tiffany, which character were you? What character were you? Were you Dorothy? You were Dorothy. You were Dorothy. But I did Marilyn Monroe, and that was I was much younger. What's another one? Oh, Prince. Very good Prince. That was fun. What else? Anybody about your characters? I mean, your character. The character is playing a character. You get it? The character is playing a character, right? Never really enjoyed dressing up, Eric says. Got it. I understand. Hey, I was a theater kid. So I was dressing up all the time. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. So welcome everybody. If you are on the oh, so was I. Just didn't enjoy Halloween. 1 year, Dorothy, because I had those shoes. Next year, Wicked Witch for the West, because I love her. And this is long before Wicked, of course. Look, I have wicked nails. Wicked nails! Yesterday I was bored and I was like, I'm painting my nails green. So, I get it, Tiffany. That's fun. I've never done Wizard of Oz. So, all right. So if you would like to, at any point in our discussion today, if you would like to put a super chat up, that's a way of donating to me. Shannon yesterday was telling me I need to put in my Venmo or something. I'll do that. But if you would like to, you don't have to. Okay. All right. Take a big deep breath. So, because it's sitting right here, and yesterday at my class, Tiffany is in my class. She knows that last night I referred to this book, Spiritual Enlightenment, The Damnedest Thing, and Jed McKenna. And so I thought it was sitting right here. We're going to pick a quote out of this, and we're going to have a discussion about this book. I'll tell you quickly, this book came into my life about 10 years ago. Something like that. I was telling everyone, I have no idea how this came into my life. I just know that I started reading it, and then there was a recognition in this book for this character. There was a recognition for this character that I was like, oh, that's what I'm going through. That's what I'm doing. And so I really, really, hello, Grace. Good to see you, Grace. So I'm just telling you that. And if you're interested in reading it, go right ahead. It's not for everyone, but all I'm saying is that it's pretty great. Christine says, we're reading together on our Saturday morning book club. I love it. Good morning, Shannon. I was just talking about you, Shannon. I didn't put my Venmo or my whatever in there yet, but I will do that. I'll do that. Okay. I think my Venmo is at attract positive results, but let's go. Okay. All right. This is a good one. Thank you. All right. So this is in the middle of a chapter, obviously, that I'm going to read to you. And I'd like to, get you to just open your mind. And I'll try to set the scene a little bit for you in this quote. And I'm just going to read it. And then you're just going to write down things and we're going to have a discussion as we usually do. And also, if you'd like to give a thumbs up, it really helps the algorithms for this character. I'd appreciate that. All right, here we go. He is sitting around. There's Jed McKenna is a character in the book, the main character, and he is sitting around. He's a spiritual teacher, right? He's a spiritual teacher, and he's sitting around where he teaches, and students come, people come, they leave, whatever, and he is sitting around a campfire talking to these students, and they're asking him questions. They're doing different things, and they're trying to make sense of their spiritual path, their spiritual journey. That's what they come to him for, right? Similar to what you would be coming here for, right? For this character, right? So he sits around sometimes at night around a campfire. They ask questions. He answers. They have discussions very similar to this. And so this part is one of those times when they've been asking a lot of questions. So Here we go. So he's been talking for a little while. Okay. He says, I look around at firelit faces, because they're around a campfire, and I see frustration. They don't understand how it can be possible to get something that's not within their reach, to become something they can't become. I'm going to read that again first. I look around the firelit faces and see frustration. They don't understand how it can be possible to get something that's not within their reach, to become something they can't become. Now he talks. You want to bring this whole thing down to a level where you can deal with it. But that's not possible. Truth is an idea or a concept. It's not in libraries or in the world of sages. It doesn't come in a flash of insight or a peak experience. It's not a feeling of bliss or ecstasy. It's not a concept to be understood or a feeling to be experienced. It's not in your heart or in your mind. It's further. I'm going to say it again, just that speech. You want to bring this whole thing down to a level where you can deal with it, but that's not possible. Truth isn't an idea or a concept. It's not in libraries or in the world of sages. It doesn't come in a flash of insight or a peak experience. It's not a feeling of bliss or a feeling of ecstasy. It's not a concept to be understood or a feeling to be experienced. It's not in your heart or in your mind. It's further. Okay. What is coming up for all of you? I'm not going to say anything right now, but I want to see what you have to say first. So please put in the chat what's coming up for you. You could say, I don't understand it. Like I always say, whatever. Grace says, become the truth. And listen, there's no right or wrong. There's no answers. We're having a conversation here, right? Grace says, become the truth. Okay. What else is coming up for people? Sorry, my nose. Boom goes the dynamite. My mind is blown. Very good, Kyrie. I love that. Why is your mind blown? Anyone want me to read it again? I often say, there's nothing to learn, and you're not going to learn it. Have you ever heard me say that? Well, you can't do this. Have you ever heard me say that? You can't do this. Now you can. This is deep. Deep end of the pool stuff. I love it. I know, we're jumping right in the deep end. I love jumping in the deep end. Anyone else want to say anything? Did I lose viewers? Hey, I was going to say, while you're thinking about what to write, I'm going to read it again. Because it's a lot. On YouTube, here on YouTube, we can't really play music because they will stop us. But I know that on YouTube, there is music that I can play. So I'm going to try to find some music. They have permission music or something. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. You ready? I'll read the whole thing. People are like, I just came here for inspiration. Well, you came here for this. He says, I look around at firelit faces and see frustration. They don't understand how it can be possible to get something that's not within their reach, to become something they can't become. You want to bring this whole thing down to the level where you can deal with it. But that's not possible. Truth isn't an idea or a concept. It's not in libraries or in the world of sages. It doesn't come in a flash of insight or a peak experience. It's not a feeling of bliss or ecstasy. It's not a concept to be understood or a feeling to be experienced. It's not in your heart or your mind. It's further. Further. That word is big. It's further, right? Let's break it down. You want to bring this whole thing down to a level where you can deal with it, but that's not possible. Let's break it down. So the character wants the how-tos, wants the steps. That's the reason, one of the reasons why you're here with me today. You want the steps somehow. What are the steps? A, B, C, Z, right? You want to understand it. You want to get it. And so that then you can apply it. And then when you apply it, you will get the results you think you're supposed to get. And what he says here, which is very interesting, which I think is super valuable if you really look at it, is that when he says in the other part, it's not a feeling of bliss or ecstasy. Many times on spiritual paths, it's implied that bliss and ecstasy, dare I say love, dare I say joy, is the goal, right? Is the goal. He's like, it's not a feeling of bliss or ecstasy. But he definitely, and so what happens with the character, they go, let me find bliss, let me find ecstasy, let me find bliss, let me find ecstasy. But he says right here, understand possible, that's something that's not within your reach. Bliss and ecstasy is within your reach somewhere. There's nothing wrong with bliss and ecstasy. There's nothing wrong with being on a spiritual path at all. But there's nothing right about it either. You understand? Kyrie says, I interpret the further as I have to get to the deep end of the pool and stop waiting. It can be, for sure. Mm-hmm. And if anybody knows Timothy Leary, there was a bus, and the bus said further on it. Interesting. Anyway, so the character is like, I'm going to go for happy. I'm going to go for happy. I'm going to go for love. I'm going to go for ecstasy. I'm going to go for joy, right? Listen to me very clearly. He says, it's not a feeling of bliss or ecstasy. He doesn't say that bliss or ecstasy might not happen, because it does. But going for the bliss or ecstasy doesn't really work. And that's what so many people, characters, don't understand. They're like, you're supposed to be happy, so I'll be happy. So I'll try to be happy. What can make me happy? There's nothing wrong with anything that I'm saying right now. At all. At all. Right? So truth isn't an idea or a concept. It's beyond all that. It's beyond all that. It's beyond all that. Now, a state of being, very interesting, Kyrie says, it's not a state of being either. Because what does being imply? Being implies the character. You can't do this. Remember I said you can't do this? Christine says, further was the bus. Oh, Neil Cassidy drove. Yeah, Neil Cassidy drove, but Timothy Leary was involved in all that stuff. So wholeness is all bliss and pain. Thank you. Grace, you're right. And when I talk about wholeness, to stop going for anything that would be bliss. Well, you don't have to stop anything. Well, you kind of do, but stop anything. You don't have to stop anything, really. But when you say wholeness, Grace, I love that. In the Course in Miracles, it talks about holiness. And you hear holiness in religious doctrine a lot. Holiness. It is really the way that you spelt it. W-H-O-L. Because it's wholeness. The cause of the dream state or the sleep state or the pre-awakening state, it doesn't even mean pre-awakening, but I have to say that, is the idea, the perception of separation. The perception of separation causes all suffering. And what's duality? Separation, good, bad, lightened, enlightened, right? That is it. So when you say wholeness is all, you're completely right, because it doesn't exclude this and it doesn't include it. It's whole. In A Course in Miracles, if you're new here, I think that, don't know if anyone is new here, but you know that A Course in Miracles is one of the best paths that you can start to get what's going on here. It really is. And it says that ultimately, when you know who you really are, then there's something called the atonement that happens. You need to accept the atonement. And the atonement, and this is from A Course in Miracles, the atonement, if you break down that word, is the at-one-ment, atonement. It's the healing of the perceived separation that you might call the healing of the perceived separation. That's a big part of it. That you might call the waking up. It's the reunification. It's the coming together. That's why anything in the dream state, that promotes any kind of separation, I'm here, you're there. Any kind of specialness, good specialness, bad specialness, is a separation. And that separation keeps the character in the dream state. But when that wholeness comes together, when it starts to, I always do it like this, when these two things begin to have a magnet and they start to pull together and they kind of touch, the Venn diagram starts happening. That's when one of the things that happens is, that's a byproduct, is joy, is freedom, is unconditional love, right? So I love that you said that, Grace. It's just perfect. Wholeness is all, and bliss and pain. So you're not excluding anything, because then it would be conditional. Remember, we're talking about unconditional love, abiding non-dual awareness. Non-dual is unconditional, right? But you can't do it. You won't be able to do it. Your character is duality. Your character is duality. And if your character is duality, then you can't do it. I bring this quote up all the time, and many of you are my students. And I constantly say that quote by Albert Einstein about, you can never solve a problem at the level at which the problem was created, means you're not going to be able to do it from your perceptual, where you are perceptually. You have to go from here to here and go, oh, I got it. Right? So, and what Christine said is just the perfect thing. Because the only thing, when she says to stop going for anything would be bliss. Listen, going for anything is what the dualistic character is built on. Why do you think we breathe at the beginning of this? Every time we're here. Stop going for anything. What you're looking for, what your character seems to be longing for, is what you already have. It's already here. We come back to Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. My dear, you've always had it. I gave you the damn slippers at the beginning of the damn movie. You always had it from the beginning of the movie. Grace says it's like you have to deal with going through a cringe state like all learning. Grace, that's brilliantly said. Last night we were talking about the desert state. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. Okay, comments or questions? Any more things we want to say? It's very frustrating we don't get to play music. If you have not followed me on TikTok already and you have TikTok, please follow me on TikTok, because on TikTok we can play music. So very good. Unlearning to learn, Germ. Unlearning to learn. Any real spiritual path is not adding more, it's removing. What the Course in Miracles would say, it's the removing of the perceived blocks to the presence of unconditional love. The removing of the perceived blocks, it doesn't say perceived, it says blocks, but I'm saying it. Removing of the perceived blocks to unconditional love. Because it's already here. Right? There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. There's no one to be. I need do nothing. What a relief, right? What a relief. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to read another book. You don't have to meditate anymore. You don't have to listen to Max anymore. You don't have to do anything. Because you're trying to get somewhere, which is literally chasing the tiger chasing its tail, trying to get somewhere. That's it. Well, I go on my Substack, read that tiger chasing its tail. I just wrote about it a couple weeks ago, right? And if you're not on what's it called, Substack, make sure that you are signed up for that, because every week I share an article with you, and also you know what I'm doing. Anybody else want to say anything before we take off and I let you go out into the wilderness? But I want to listen to Max more. What's great, Kyrie, is that there's nothing wrong with doing it. Nothing wrong with doing it. And there's nothing right with doing it. There's nothing wrong with reading a book like this at all. It gives the character something to do, because the character needs something to do. You need something to do. But our ego needs a goal. Very good, Christine. Your separated self needs a goal. Now I'm going to follow that up with what? There's nothing wrong with goals, but there's nothing right with goals. My all-time problem. Listen, at this point, there's a mini me on your shoulder that you just hear. A lot of my students will say, they'll be like, I hear your voice in the back of my head. I'm like, you have drank the Kool-Aid. You have drank the Kool-Aid. It is better with friends. That's a great way to say it, Grace. And I completely agree with you. Because, listen, I've been doing this a long time. A long time. And it is better with friends. The group dynamic of this, well, first of all, you're what? You're different perceived entities, what? Coming together. That's a good thing. Anything that promotes this, when you understand, when this is the truth of what's happening, that's all that's happening anyway. You see anything that's pulling apart or feels or has the resemblance of pulling apart, disaster. Anything that's coming together is, something's happening here. And usually it's a good thing. The coming together is always a good thing. The separating, look at politics, the separating doesn't help. Right? Speaking of that, I'm here to be your friendly, in the dream state reminder to vote. Just vote. I mean, listen, it takes whatever. Just vote. Just vote. If you're in this country, there's other people that aren't in this country. So 2 by 2 onto the ark. Yeah, that's what that says. I saw the funniest thing this morning, I have to say. The funniest thing. Nike, just do it. there was a picture, you know, the kids, like Noah's Ark is like the kids thing, right? So I'm going to sound facetious because I am. There was a picture of Noah's Ark with the rainbow and the animals sticking out of it, like you'd put in a toddler's bedroom, right? And it said it said on the top, "This didn't happen!" exclamation point, and the bottom says, "Get over it." I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, okay. I laughed really hard. This didn't happen. Get over it. Oh Lord, that was funny. That was funny. So anyway, anyone want to say anything before we go or ask anything before we go? Make sure that you are subscribed here and you hit the notification for all, the bell for all notifications. I will be here tomorrow at same time, Thursday and Friday, 10 o'clock. And then on Saturday, I'll be here at 11. So, and you're welcome. You are welcome, everyone. Just a reminder, you can give a super chat by hitting the little dollar sign at the bottom of your chat if you would like to do that to contribute to the cat food fund. The cat food fund. That would be awesome. And if you'd like to know anything more about me, please go to maxryan.net. maxryan.net. And I think that's it. And this week I'm going to start the series on Substack about these nihilist types of writers. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Listen, the nihilist writers, fun. That shows you something about this character. Oh, woohoo! Nihilist writers. Yay! Thank you, Grace. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Anyway, okay. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be here tomorrow. And remember, only unconditional love is real. Your favorite. I love it, Grace. Okay. All right. And if you know anyone that, and all the replay viewers, if you know anyone that is interested in this kind of work, please throw them over here. Just mention, you might want to listen to this crazy guy that talks about nothing. All right, everyone. I love you. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Au revoir. À tout à l'heure. What's going on? Oh, there you go. Okay. Bye.